Hey guys, Mama Snark here. So Weezer and I have an announcement to make.
Daddy.
Yeah, we're going to see. Who's that? Who's that?
Me.
Minnie! And who's that? And Mickey. Are you going to see Dada? So I pitched the idea to hubby, and he surprisingly was completely on board with it and ran with it. But Weezer and I, she's my 2-year-old, are gonna fly out to Disney World for 2 nights just to go to the Disney Merriest After Hours event. So it's the not Christmas party, but like it's the Christmas party. So as the entire family is gonna go to Disney World in October for 1 full week. So we'll be there from Saturday to Saturday. And we are going in October, like I said, but we decided against doing the Boo Bash because we have 2 toddlers. So it didn't really make sense financially, and because it was going to be a lot of money to do a ticket for myself, my husband, and our 3-year-old, because Weezer is still 2, so she's free at Disney still. Just to do the 9 to 1, didn't really have anything extra other than, it had the Halloween character cavalcades, but it wasn't a full-on parade, no extra fireworks. They just have the normal Magic Kingdom fireworks at the end of the night, and then you just basically get to ride the rides, and then you get a couple of free treats that you paid for. So it didn't really make sense to do that with our toddlers for our October trip, just because we're going to be there for a full week. So we're going to have a chance to ride every single Magic Kingdom ride there is between that full week. So we opted out of that, and then I pitched the idea to hubby to do the Christmas party just me and Weezer, because she's still free because she's under 2. And she's also the more rambunctious of our 2 kiddos, so it's easier for us to leave in cub with him, and we take her with me. And she's also still obsessed with me, right? So it would be a nightmare if we tried to keep her, and I was gone for 2 nights and 3 days without her. So I'm going to take her alone, by myself, to Disney World for 2 nights and 3 days, just to see the Christmas party event. We're not doing any kind of park tickets or anything like that. We're just going to do the after hours event. It starts at 9 and goes to 1 a.m., which is kind of crazy for a toddler. I agree. It's a little insane. Like, even the ticket agent, when I called to book her ticket or to book my ticket, and I clarified with her, she won't need a ticket, correct, because she's 2, and she's like, the party runs till 1 a.m., right? I was like, yes, I know. So I have 4 tips for traveling solo to Disney World with a toddler that I will be utilizing during this trip with just Weezer and myself. So number 1, well, I guess this should be number 1, low expectations. I am going into this not really expecting to get anything done other than the full Christmas parade, which I am so excited about, and the fireworks show, the Christmas fireworks special. So the park will open for 7 p.m., I believe, for the ticket event. So you can actually get to Magic Kingdom at 7 p.m. The event doesn't start until 9, specifically for those guests. But we can get into the park as early as 7 p.m., and then it runs until 1 a.m. So the odds of us making it till 1 a.m. are slim to none. And I'm not going into it expecting to be able to be there from 7 to 1 a.m. to get my money's worth. So low expectations. I expect her to either get super cranky or to pass out and fall asleep or, what have you. So my game plan is, like I said, we're not doing a park ticket. We're staying at All-Star Movies because it was the cheapest option. And we're literally there just for the 2 nights. So my plan is to go resort hopping with her. I think we're going to catch the bus to Magic Kingdom and then either walk over or take the monorail to Grand Floridian and see the Christmas displays they have there. I've seen that they're beautiful and I haven't seen them in person. And I am a Christmas enthusiast. So I'm really excited to see that. And then maybe just check out the Contemporary and Polynesian, those kind of resorts. Maybe we'll go to Disney Springs. Maybe not. We'll just kind of see where the day takes us. And then I plan on getting a good long afternoon nap out of her. So I'm going to try to keep her up until 2, 3-ish, and then let her fall asleep, and hopefully let her get a good 2-3 hour solid nap. And then she's usually up. If she takes a late afternoon nap, it's hard for us to get her to sleep at night. So I'm hoping getting that long afternoon nap, she'll actually be able to be awake and alert for a good bit of the Christmas event so that she can see the parade and she can see the fireworks and just the snow on Main Street and all the Disney magic that accompanies that. So that's my first tip, is low expectations, the biggest one. My second is a good compact travel stroller if you're traveling alone with an infant or toddler. So I have two different models that I use kind of on a regular basis whenever I'm doing doctor's appointments with the kids and things like that, because I am not taking a double stroller into a doctor's office or any kind of indoor anywhere, because that thing's a beast to navigate. So I have the Ergo Metro Plus Compact, but it's about 17 pounds and it's a little bit larger, like it folds up into the square kind of model, but it only has a handle like at the top seat once it's folded in that square for me to like carry it with, which is fine for doctor's appointments and things like that. But I think I'm going to be taking my Jules Air stroller because it folds up just a little bit smaller and it's 14.5 pounds, I think, so it's a little bit lighter as well. But the biggest reason is it comes with the gate check like airline bag and the rain cover as well, but it has an elastic like strap that's built into the under basket, so when you fold it down into that like square size, you can just reach in and pull that elastic carry strap out, and I can put that on my shoulder to carry. So like when I'm on the bus, because I'm staying at All-Star Movies, I'll have to take a bus to Magic Kingdom, and I've got her attached to me, possibly sleeping. I can just fold that up, put that on my shoulder, and I can still be hands-free if I need to be for whatever reason. So like if I have to hold on, you know, to the rail, if there's only standing room or something like that, it's doable. So I'll be taking an awesome compact travel stroller with me. Tip number 3 is going to be, and this is going to give me some flack by some people, I'm sure, a toddler leash. We have one that's like the backpack, I think it's by Munchkin, and it's the backpack and it has the little leash attached to it, which she loves, but that's a little bit bulky for trying to pack as light as I can. So I have another one that's just, it's literally like it goes across her back and then it clips on her chest, so it's just like a flat harness, and it can roll up really small and compact, because I only plan on bringing like either a teeny tiny backpack or like a fanny pack type thing with me into the park, since we're going for such a short time. So that'll roll up really small, and it's just the harness that clips to her, and it has the leash on the back, the parent leash. She does really well holding my hand, and like when I have the leash on her, I'll have it in my hand and then still just let her hold my finger. But the problem is, she is a toddler, so if she sees something really exciting, she might like try to dart away to go look at it, because she's a toddler, they don't have impulse control. And Disney World and Orlando Airport, and just Orlando in general, but it's a very large place, and I don't want to take any chances with her getting separated from me. You know, human trafficking is also a concern, things like that. Like, call me over paranoid, possibly, but I'm not getting my kids stolen. So we don't use it if we're going someplace nearby that has, like, my husband and I are together, we each have a toddler, we can each have eyes on them at all times, things like that. We won't use it, we'll kind of just trust them and kind of stay on top of them. But in a large place like Disney World or the Orlando Airport, especially by myself with her, I will be utilizing a toddler leash. The 4th tip is going to be a toddler carrier or a baby carrier, depending on, you know, the size of your kid, how tall they are, how much they weigh, things like that. My favorite brand is the Lilla Baby Carry-On. It has this awesome, like, big rectangle lumbar support pad, so I can still wear her on my front comfortably, even though she's almost 35 pounds and she's around 36 inches or so. I can still put her on my front, and that pad just goes on my back, and it kind of helps give you some more support. I've tried the Tula toddler and the Naked Panda toddler size, and they just don't have enough support for me. I have kind of a bad back from just existing in life, I guess. So I need more of like a support, especially if I'm going to be carrying for long periods of time. And then I can also wear her comfortably on my back with it, and that lumbar just kind of sits on my front and helps hold my mama pouch in, which is also a plus. You're probably wondering, why on earth do you need a toddler carrier if you have a compact stroller and a toddler leash? Well, biggest thing is being able to be hands-free. So I'm going to be traveling with a very small child, a very wild, busy toddler by myself. So mainly like when I go to the airport, when you go through security, you're gonna have to fold up your stroller and like, I mean, literally everything you have with you needs to go through that x-ray machine. So even if I have the leash on her, I've still got to make sure it's, you know, attached to my wrist, or I've got it in my hand, and then I'm trying to like maneuver the stroller and our bag and everything like that at the same time. Like, it's gonna be very frustrating and stressful. So if I have her on my back or on my front in the carrier, then I am hands-free. So I can just fold that stroller up, and the Jules Air, literally, you press one button with your thumb and you press the other button with your hand, and that thing just folds down like that. So I can fold that sucker down, wheel it through the x-ray. I'm traveling with one bag, put that on there, get my liquids bag out, have her on me the whole time. I haven't done this with airport security yet. I've read conflicting things. Some people say that they go straight through just wearing their kid and they just swab your hands. Other people say they will make you take your kid out of the carrier. But either way, I can get her in and out very easily if I need to. So if I have to take her down, I can take her down and put her right back up to collect my things on the other side after we go through security. So that's my main thing. Also, the plane is not set to land until like 9 p.m. on our arrival day. So that's past her bedtime. There's a good chance she's going to be asleep. She may not. She may be too overstimulated to fall asleep. But she might be asleep by the time the plane lands. And if that's the case, I can just put her on my front if she's asleep, put the little hood up, put my backpack with my clothes on it, and get her little compact travel stroller. It has the strap like I mentioned before, so I can just put that on, have my backpack on, have her on front, and I'm good to go. So that way I'm not having to like get my bag and struggle to carry a sleeping toddler in one hand, and then also like collect the stroller at the plane and unfold the stroller and like try to load her into the stroller and then load her back off when we get to the Magical Express. And like, that's a lot. I've done things with her and with my 3-year-old man cub a lot, and baby wearing just makes things so much easier. And then also, like I said, on the day before the ticket event starts, we can't get into the park till 7. So before that, in order to wear her out so that she will hopefully take a good long nap, she's kind of iffy on naps these days, like she won't always go to sleep. So I need to wear her out so that she will take a good long nap for me. So I mentioned resort hopping. I do want to go see like Grand Floridian and things like that. So I potentially am not even going to bring the stroller with me. I'll just let her walk around to burn energy and let her run around. And if she gets tired and needs to be held, or I need to get back on the bus or things like that, I can just throw her in the carrier and we're good to go. So that, you know, if she gets tired, I'm not just stuck holding this giant stack of potatoes and, you know, navigating buses and things like that. And it supports her weight a lot more. And then my husband and I both, we're not big stroller people. Like, we find them kind of necessary for certain reasons, especially to like hold things and, you know, if we're going to be somewhere for a long period of time. But we've both done New Orleans for an entire day, sand stroller, touring the aquarium, the French market, to and from our hotel by the Superdome, just carrying them on our backs because we didn't want to deal with weaving strollers through the city of New Orleans. So like, it's doable. Baby carrier is a lifesaver for me. I put them on my back all the time. If I have to run into the store or something like that, I don't want them in a cart, even though I'd wipe it down. It makes me feel better to have them attached to me, especially now with the COVID pandemic, just because people tend to give you a little bit more personal space if you're an adult. So they tend to, navigate around a little bit better when you have them strapped to you. So we're also going to be, back to my number one tip of advice, we're going to be flying Spirit Airlines for the first time, which I know you're probably cringing right now, because I'm a little bit scared and cringing too. But it was the only flight, or they had 2 different flights, but it's the only airline that had a direct flight from the city of New Orleans to Orlando Airport. And again, traveling alone by myself with a toddler, I want it to be as easy as possible. Like, I don't want to have to get off the plane, wait in the airport with her, try to entertain her, try to make connections if it's a tight, connection gap, things like that. So we chose Spirit Airlines. Number 1, it was super cheap, like super cheap. Number 2, it was the only one that had the direct flight. This goes back to my low expectations. I've done a lot of research on it and reading, and I've asked people in my toddler moms group on social media, and go into it knowing that the seats are going to be smaller. It's not going to be, like Barbie-sized seats, but the seats are going to be smaller and more uncomfortable. I'm aware of this. I'm okay with it. Our flight's only going to be about a 2-hour duration. So that's like 2 hours of being uncomfortable is a lot better than the stress of me having to get off the plane, wait, make a connection plane, things like that. Like, it's just, I will be uncomfortable for 2 hours. That's fine. Also, I'm not a, like, large person. You know, I mean, I'm not skinny, but I'm not a large person, and I'm not tall. I'm only like 5'5", so I'm average size woman for, you know, United States statistics. So the seats are going to be, you know, not the most cushy and pleasant and things like that, but it's going to be doable. It'll be fine for a 2-hour flight. Weezer's not going to need any leg room or anything like that because she's, you know, this big. So go into it knowing that. Also, you know, there are all these added fees with the baggage and picking your seats and all those kind of things. I'm aware you can bring one personal item per person or per ticketed person on the plane for free, which is 18 by, I don't remember, by 4 by something. So it's not, you know, a huge rolly suitcase, but it's not so tiny that I'm not going to be able to pack in it. So my goal is to be able to pack Weezer and myself in one backpack that will fit in their like luggage specifications, because I don't want any extra luggage to juggle while I have a toddler and a stroller and baggage for both of us. So I don't want a wheeled carry-on because that's just one more thing I have to keep track of. So I'm going to try to fit everything, and I'll do that packing video when the time comes. So make sure you like and subscribe and follow along with us for tips and tricks with toddlers. I'll be posting our entire blog for our October trip for Disney World, including packing, tips and tricks with toddlers, tips and tricks with transportation with toddlers on the Skyliner and the buses with strollers and things like that. But so yeah, I don't want like all this extra luggage when it's just her and I for 2 nights. So I'm going to do my best to pack as minimally as possible, and then try to also put like my fanny pack or whatever I'll be taking to the parks with me in that bag as well, and all of her airplane toys and busy activities and things like that. So low expectations. Hopefully Spirit Airlines isn't horrible. I've talked to different people, and I also called and talked to a Spirit agent as well with the pre-picking your seats, because I just want to, like, I don't care where we sit. Like I said, it's a 2-hour flight. I'm fine wherever they tend to put us. I just need to make sure that she's with me because she's only 2. So I don't want her, you know, separated from me on the opposite side of the plane, because I have read horror stories and, you know, everyone's seen those horrible videos, things like that. I don't want to be that person. But I talked to him, and he assured me that since she is a minor and she is 2 years old, they will seat us together even if I don't pre-pick our seats and prepay for the pre-picking our seats, to just, whenever I get there and check in, go to the gate and make sure that, you know, they know that she's a small toddler and they will seat us together. And then I've read advice from other people in my mom's group, and they said that they have flown Spirit and have never not been seated with their children, even if they didn't pre-pick their seats. So fingers crossed that's the case. I mean, if not, we'll figure it out when the time comes. I'll either pay them to pick our seats, or we'll get a different flight or something, because she needs to be with me. But from what I've read, it shouldn't be an issue. So like I said, follow along. We'll put those details in there. But hopefully Weezer and I have a very Merry Christmas in Disney World, and have this fun little event to take you guys along with us, and to answer the ultimate question of, is it worth it to take a toddler to an after-hours event? And also, is it possible to take a toddler by yourself to Disney World to an after-hours event? So we'll see. Everybody stay tuned. Thank you guys for joining. Like and subscribe.